Hi, I'm Heather Kellstrom, a next-gen strategist for Saline Area Schools. Today's screencast is about how to design a Goosechase learning experience for a classroom full of students or for staff PD. Why gaming? You can see the bulleted list on why gaming in the classroom is worth a try. This next generation of students are looking for something different educationally. What if we could harness and leverage gaming to build student content competency and solve real-world problems? Want to change your mindset on gaming? Then you might want to watch the TED Talk by Jane McGonigal. The URL is provided below. Why Goosechase? Goosechase is a digital scavenger hunt platform built for experiential and self-directed learning. You can use the app with students or with staff. You can use Goosechase in the classroom to engage, support, or enhance classroom curriculum, out on classroom field trips, or even with staff at a building meeting or for professional development. The tool is built as an editable template so that you can customize the content and experiences for students or for staff. Let's work through an example of how to set up a Goosechase learning experience. Since my specialty is coaching and training staff, I will share with you how I set up a Goosechase experience for our new next-gen classroom teachers on 4C's training, in particular the C of communication. Notice that before I set up the Goosechase, I have predetermined my learning targets, targeted audience, number of missions needed to master the PD content, and other PD particulars, such as size of teams, length of session, end of the session Twitter chat, 3-month classroom check-in, etc. In our district, we reference the ISTE teacher standards, our district strategic framework, goal number 2 in particular, and the communications rubrics that we've created for each grade level. I cannot emphasize this enough. It is critical to do your backward lesson/unit planning in advance before creating your Goosechase. Doing so ensures the learning experience will be married appropriately to the content and targets. To get started, create a Goosechase account by going to www.goosechase.com. Simply click on the Sign Up button and enter the necessary information. Then click the blue Sign Up button to continue. After successfully creating a Goosechase account, a Goosechase Game Management New Game screen will appear. Remember that Goosechase acts as a template to gather all of your important gaming information. Your job is to add information to the shell, one section at a time. Let's begin with the game info setup. Step 1 is to upload a picture to make your game identifiable. Make sure your picture is square and it fits the picture extension requirements. You may have to do some cropping to get your picture to fit. Step 2, give your Goosechase game a name. Make it interesting in 40 characters or less. Step 3, give your Goosechase game a game description. This is a great way to build excitement for your learners. You must say it in 200 characters or less, though. Be clever. Step 4, give your Goosechase game a password. Even though it says optional, I would recommend it for grades 6 and up. Word gets around quickly with students, especially when you have multiple classes in a day. Use a password to protect your game. Step 5, give your Goosechase game a game location. This part is optional. I usually use this feature for PD, but not for classroom games. Here is an example of my Next Gen Academy communication PD that I created in Goosechase. Notice how I filled in the items. I placed a district logo for the picture. I gave the Goosechase a name, a cute description to build interest, and a funny but appropriate game password. I did fill in the location because it was for staff PD. Once you are happy with your work, you will simply click the green Save and Continue button. On to the second section of the Goosechase game build, the missions. This is one of the most exciting and important sections to making your gaming experience run smoothly. A lot of time, effort, and review of your learning targets, desired student evidence and artifacts, student teams, etc. will go into successfully building this section of the template. Because you haven't created any missions yet, a set of hints is located in a blue box on the screen to help remind you of important information under the Mission List tab. Moving on, located below the Mission Bank tab are existing missions that Goosechase has created that you can use or modify. They are fun to read, though, and they're very clever, but too generic for learning purposes. You can borrow a clever name and create your own purposeful missions for students to participate in. The My Missions Bank tab will house all of the missions that you make. This allows you to not only manage those missions, but reuse and edit them at a later date. Let's learn how to create a mission from scratch. To create your first mission, you must click on the arrow to the right of the green button that says Insert Photo/Video Mission. You'll need to select what type of evidence you'll request for this specific mission. Your choices are photo, video, or text. The GPS mission is for locational check-ins only. You'll want to select one option, but know you can always edit that option at a later time. Let's practice inserting a photo mission. There are 5 steps you must complete to get your first mission in the books, meaning digitally saved. Job 1. You need to give your mission a name. Again, be clever. It excites and engages the students. There is a 40-character max. Job 2. Give your mission a description. Describe exactly what you want your students or staff to accomplish. There is a 200-character max here, and be advised that you might have to take a couple of stabs to get this one perfected. This is another chance to be clever. Job 3. Assign a points value. Notice the options to choose from. You can also assign custom points. Be sure to vary the points from mission to mission to match the level of difficulty for the task at hand. Job 4. You can add additional information to help students or staff with the mission, such as a photo or a link to some additional resources. Through options, you can click on what type of submission you're willing to accept. When you are done, be sure to click on the green Save Changes button. As mentioned before, you can go back in and edit a mission at any time. Plus, the process we just used, it will be the same process for any other missions that you would like to create. Here is an example of the 6 missions that I created for the Staff PD offered through the Next Gen Academy with a focus on communication. Notice that I used a variety of evidence requirements, points, offered some links, and numbered a couple of the missions, but not all. This is an important concept. Since this was the staff's first time with Goosechase, I thought we could start and end the Goosechase experience together. That allowed me to teach them a few tricks to participate in the activity without wasting time before the activity began. Then staff were able to do 3 additional missions in any order. Those missions were the Say It, Go Global, and Draw It. You'll want to think deeply during mission setup about ordering the missions or if it's really needed. It is mission critical. Moving on to the Teams section. You'll want to determine if students or staff can play individually or as teams. I would really encourage you to have all learners participate in teams. If you are using the free version, you are currently limited to 5 teams. If you have a district paid version, that number increases significantly. In the Teams section, you will also notice the directions for how to join the game. You'll want to post this login information somewhere when the game goes live. One of the last steps to perform before taking your Goosechase game live is to put the parameters on the starting and stopping of the game. I've provided an example of a date and time setup. On game day, you'll have access to an activity feed. This is a great feature by Goosechase. It allows you to loosen the classroom requirements. For example, like only having to stay in the classroom to participate in the scavenger hunt. As the facilitator, you can see what the teams are up to, who's working on which mission, who may need some help, and the general quality of the evidence and artifacts submitted. You also can see the team leaderboard. This is probably one of the most sticky parts of gaming. Some teachers like points for motivation while others do not. You can determine how important these points are, how often you'll reference them, etc. Goosechase also offers a submissions tab to review the artifacts submissions by all teams for ease of grading and for downloading purposes. And that's a wrap. Hopefully, I've provided enough detail to whet your appetite on the concept of implementing a digital scavenger hunt. If you're still looking for a little more info, don't forget that you can go to www.goosechase.com/solutions/K12. Or you can read my latest blog on gaming as a pedagogy. Additionally, you can test out a mini Goosechase scavenger hunt by searching for the game EDU 807 Goosechase Teaser. Lastly, I'm always available if you have any questions or would like some help in building your first Goosechase game. Good luck and game on!